Brazil are out of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and who would have thought that this would have been the outcome or the time for Brazil to go out in the quarterfinals in a tournament where they were pipped as the favourites from the very start. I didn't predict this. I did say that Brazil would win comfortably against Croatia, and if you do look at some of the stats, which we'll unpack in this little video here, or little review halfway through the quarterfinals, we will go through those bits of information. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss any more football hot takes or previews and reviews of big games that are coming up, because the football season is not slowing down for anybody at the moment. But let's dive straight into this game. We will touch base on the other quarterfinal that happened today as well. But let's start off with Croatia and Brazil. In the preview, I did mention that if Croatia were to get a result, it was going to be through them using their experience and their hard work and their ability just not to lose. And that's where I might start. We might start with the positive and start with Croatia, because they were under big pressure. I mentioned Dom Livakovic in the preview, and he was absolutely immense in this game. He definitely has to get a move out of Croatia off the back of this tournament as well. He has been absolutely fantastic shot stopper, and this game really had the Croatia mould written all over it. They've been a side all tournament. They haven't scored heaps of goals. They're not conceding lots of goals. They're just doing the job, ticking along. I think they've only won one game through the tournament, which was this one. Well, they've won, obviously, the two knockout stage games, but I think with penalties, they're not counting that. So I think they've had 3 draws and a win, which is in the round of 16. So, or did they actually? I think they won on penalties, didn't they, as well, in the round of 16 too. So they're just a team at the moment that, as I said in the preview, aren't scoring heaps and heaps of goals. I'm just getting the tournament tree back up just so I can see. Sorry, they did draw with Japan as well. So I think they won one of their group stage games, and then they've drawn every other game through and had to go through penalties twice in a row. And whether Croatia are going to be able to do that against Argentina, we'll discuss that a little bit later. But with regards to Croatia, they've just got the experience. You've got Luka Modric, you've got Kovacic, you've got Brozovic, just absolutely controlling games of football. Today, the possession was 50-50 practically. Brazil had 21 shots and 11 on target, and were only able to put one in the back of the net. And that is the theme of this game, because we know that Brazil, do concede goals. There's moments in this game that Brazil really could have taken. They could have been a lot more clinical. Neymar does score a nice goal there in extra time as well, just to put them ahead, and they're just unable to see it through. A bit of a scrappy goal for Bruno Petkovic for Croatia to get it to penalties. And once I saw that this game went to penalties, there was no doubt in my mind that Croatia were going to get the job done. They're just a team that have that mentality right now that I wouldn't want to back against Croatia if you're playing them in a knockout stage. It's just a team you don't want to verse, because they are very hard to score against. They'll take their chances on the break when they get them, like they had. What they have here, 9 shots, 1 on target, scored 1 goal with that 1 shot on target. So if you are Argentina, you're not wanting to take on this Croatia side, because Argentina have been in a very similar mould to Brazil throughout this tournament already. So if you're Croatia, you would be absolutely loving the fact that you're able to grind out these results, because if they are able to start putting chances away, they're going to be very hard to stop once again in this tournament. And for a country of only 4 million people, it's an absolute testament that they're able to back up some solid performances in major tournaments. Clearly, they're going through a real good golden generation at the moment, but if they're able to find a bit more in front of goal, it would be fantastic. But I think for the penalty side of things as well, Dom Livakovic does well. I feel for Marquinhos there as well. Pressure penalty, needs to score, and he's unable to. But what an opportunity missed by Brazil. You felt that this was probably the time for Brazil. They've got it all at the moment. They're playing great football. They're free-flowing, attacking. Neymar's in his absolute peak at the moment as well, showing that with his finish in this game. Let me know in the comments if you think this Brazil side have it in them to win a major tournament. This has been a bit of the DNA that I've seen from Brazil really throughout my lifetime, that they're just not able to get the results done, in the big games and in the big moments. I've not witnessed Brazil win a major tournament at all in my life. So I think there's a bit of that historical bias towards Brazil, but this is the reason why I backed Argentina from the start, because I've got that historical data to show that they can at least get to those finals, and they did show that they can win the Copa America. So let's move on to that side of the draw. I didn't actually watch the Brazil-Croatia game. I have seen the highlights and obviously looked at the statistics of that one. But I did get up and watch Argentina versus Holland, and what a game this was. This had everything. It was fiery. There were challenges flying in from very early. Virgil van Dijk got himself amongst the action towards the end of regulation time as well, with a big brawl and a big bump. I think it was on Paredes. But this game was played in the right spirit. I think it had lots of different ebbs and flows, and there was lots of dominance in there from both sides. And I might just quickly pull the numbers up, because I haven't looked at the numbers. I've just gone off, what I saw this morning. So Argentina had 14 shots, 5 on target, to Netherlands 6 and 2. That felt pretty reflective. At 2-0, Argentina were absolutely cruising. I didn't feel Emi Martinez really had to do much until Weghorst came on. Once Weghorst came on, though, he just created some big problems. And when I was looking at those Dutch substitutions, and I'm looking at Depay coming off and Luke de Jong and Weghorst coming on, I'm going, well, is there much of a point? Even at 2-1, Weghorst scores with 7 minutes to go. Argentina still looked completely in control until that free kick, and what a moment. Imagine being in the crowd, witnessing that free kick. I've had multiple conversations with people about those free kicks going underneath the wall, and when do you ever see it? Like, that's why the walls jump all the time, and what a moment to try something like that. More often than not, people are going to just go with I'm sitting 20 yards out, I'm just going to clip this over the wall and pray that it goes in top corner. But what a time to be inventive, and end of the day, if it doesn't pay off, everyone's going to say, why didn't you just hit it over the wall? But what an opportunity, and well taken from Weghorst as well. It's a very hard chance to put in the back of the net. First time sort of running away-ish from the ball, like just needing to just get any glancing touch on it, and gives Holland an absolute lifeline, where I felt that last sort of 7-8 minutes from when they scored that first goal, they were very good, and Argentina just were not able to really sustain, that defensive, football that they haven't really been able to show anyway. Like, they're not. I think Argentina should have just kept playing the way they were, because they were in such dominance throughout that whole game. But going into extra time, Argentina absolutely ripped this game apart, really. Enzo Fernandez, very unlucky not to put Argentina through. Lautaro Martinez had multiple opportunities in the extra time bracket as well to try and at least, save it from going to penalties. But end of the day, Holland do enough to get it to penalties. And then from the minute penalties start, Emi Martinez shows how much of a clinical goalkeeper that he is, because he's done this multiple times for Argentina, and he stepped up in the big moments. And that's why he's in the team. He saves penalties. He's very good at saving penalties. The Virgil van Dijk penalty first up, I picked it. He did that same penalty against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final last season. He goes hard inside that left side netting, and that's exactly where Emi Martinez goes. But the whole penalty shootout for me is on Emi Martinez. He's absolutely just fired Argentina. The talk's all about Lionel Messi, and yes, he was fantastic. And I believe this tournament right now, if the tournament was to stop today, he's got the golden ball in his hands, because he has absolutely dominated this tournament from start to finish. Every game, he's looked electric. He's gotten on the ball. He's gotten deep. He's driven forward. He's scored penalties, which he has a real bad record of scoring penalties. So he is just playing like a man on an absolute mission at the moment, is Lionel Messi. And I think he's going to be the driving force for this Argentinian side. But give Emi Martinez his props as well. And Lautaro Martinez to step up, and the penalty he scored to put Argentina through was absolutely well taken as well. So a little bit of a preview here. We'll get into that probably tomorrow anyway, but I'm very looking forward to Croatia, Argentina, because it's two very conflicting styles of football that are going to go up against each other. Tonight we've got France, England, and Morocco and Portugal, so I'm looking forward to those. Make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be plenty of videos coming out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more World Cup Roundup.